Hey, if you're watching this video, I really don't think it's by accident. I think God has a purpose on your life and He's trying to communicate something to you. One thing I believe that we all need to learn is that not making a choice is a choice. I know we live in a culture where we like to keep all of our options open. We don't like to commit to a party. We don't like to commit to a romantic relationship. We don't like to commit to just one career. And so we keep these options open and we don't really try to go forth with one way. And what happens is we don't end up mastering anything. We just become kind of okay at a lot of things. But I just want to challenge you with this idea that not making a choice is a choice. Not making a choice to commit to something is something that might seem great short term because you can keep your options, but honestly, it leads to a lack of fulfillment. Like at some point, we need to say, I'm going this way. I'm going to learn all the lessons to go that way. And yeah, maybe I might change course along the road or after a few years or even after a few months. But as far as right now, I'm going to be laser focused. I remember when I was dating my then girlfriend and things were getting pretty serious. And I was thinking I can really see myself marrying her. And so it's probably time to propose. But as I was making that logical framework appear in my mind, I started to feel a little bit of a fear of commitment. I was like, man, saying yes to this one person means saying no to everybody else. And that's the nature of saying yes. Whenever you say yes to one thing, that means you're saying no to everything else. And that kind of scared me. I was in my young 20s. I was pretty immature. And so I went up to my girlfriend and I said, hey, I'm thinking about proposing to you, but I kind of want to sow my wild oats. I kind of want to fool around with all these other girls first. And then if I still like you, I'll come back to you and then we can do this engagement thing. And she was like, so my girlfriend then, and my wife now, spoiler alert, she's 4 years older than me. And so she said, okay, young 20-something Pradeepan, you can do that. You can go fool around with all of these girls, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to stick around waiting for you. And I was like, I want to do this, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose you. And so I realized by my decision to not commit to her, I was making a choice. So me not making a choice was actually making a choice. Me not committing jeopardized me actually keeping her because things aren't guaranteed. So when you're feeling like a passion, here's some of my takeaway. Like pursue that passion, pursue that calling, go after it to the best of your ability. And, later on, I committed to that girlfriend. She became my fiance, and then we got married in the wheat fields of Kansas in 2012. And so my wife was raised in rural Kansas. And when we talk about rural, we mean very rural. There's not one stoplight in her entire city. In fact, from the house she was raised in, you cannot see one other human house with your eyes. And so I committed to that person, and now I'm in my son's bedroom. This is not my room. This is my son's bedroom, who turns 9 this month. And so out of that commitment, out of that decision, being laser focused, I move forward. And yes, we're always going to wrestle with all the options and what could be, but like, when you keep all of your options open, you have a paralysis of analysis. It's like you're thinking through these things the whole time. You're wondering, should I do this? Should I do this? And then you ended up doing nothing. And so like when you make the decision, it unlocks your brainstorming skills, your thinking. You start thinking from like not what could I do, but how am I going to accomplish this? And now here's my son knocking on the door. He's trying to get here. So on the other side of making the choice to move forward, you might have a son that distracts you like I do, but I love him and I appreciate him. But I don't know. This idea of being laser focused, I think it's a superpower that a lot of people don't realize that they could have, the power of focus, especially in a culture that likes to keep our options open, that struggles with FOMO, the fear of missing out. I think it's powerful when we can unlock the power and potential of JOMO, the joy of missing out. So yeah, like I'm about to turn 40 this year. I do wonder what would my life be if I was just like this person who chose a completely different career or a different reality. I mean, yeah, I still have those questions. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But like when I am experiencing the fruit of the decisions that I committed to, the things that would not have happened in the short term but have been unlocked through the consistency of long-term work, man, I'm really thankful for it. Like we've said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So committing to that direction. If I'm going east, I can't go west. If I'm committing to this faith, that means I'm saying no to all of these other faiths, which is like not super popular in a religious pluralistic mindset that a lot of our society says. But it even reminds me of the words of Jesus. Like Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Like Jesus didn't say I am a way. He said I'm the way. Like the path to life is narrow. The path to destruction is wide and broad. And so I don't know. I just want to practically encourage you. Find the narrow path. I don't believe you were made on accident, but God has a purpose for you. You know, the scripture says that you are actually a masterpiece. Like the Greek word for masterpiece in the Bible is poem. Like you are a poem written by God, and he has a specific length. He has a specific cadence. He has word choices that are for you and your life and who you are. And that's beautiful. And so instead of like trying to straddle all the other options, I want to challenge you to like find your purpose, find your calling. And I'm not saying you have to nail it like the first time. You might find that this one decision is a stepping stone to your next decision, but you got to jump on that first stepping stone before you can jump to the next stepping stone. You got to take the first act. You got to take that step of faith. And I believe faith sometimes calls us to jump and on the way up say, how high do you want me to go? What direction do you want me to go? So practical question. What is something you could be laser focused about? Please leave a comment. I will respond to every single person, and I would like to encourage you. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I wish I would have learned this lesson a long time ago. And so we're going to feed the things that we are called to do. We're going to take the next best step. Thanks for listening. God bless you, and see you next time.